Very much the same.
Okay. And when I asked you to make sure that you were not, that the photo multiplier was clear,
Mhm.
what was going on in there? I want to go take a look and just see if you can kind of show me how things were set up,
Okay, I was
as far as you can tell.
when you asked me to make sure it was clear, I was standing like this,
Okay. And the chair was about that far away?
about that far away, and I tested to see if it was clear.
Okay.
By reaching for it and realizing, touching it, and realizing.
Okay, so the chair wasn't turned in any way or anything. Because my thought was maybe it was blocking it or something, if there might be some sort of.
No.
Okay.
It was not.
And Ed, when you were over there and you were standing, where were you? Can you show me where you were over
Just
there?
like that, just like Graham there.
When I was over here, I was like,
I could stand in the corner. Graham was right there.
Okay.
And then I was push and pull him back and forth.
And the chair was about that distance.
And the chair was right about there.
Okay. Great.
Yeah.
This is an important point to me here.
All right.
Okay, is there anything else, Graham, that you want to mention about this? Or?
I don't think so. I haven't been in that room. I haven't been in that room all that many times, but I've never seen an effect like that.
Okay.
With hands.
Right.
Where I literally could see them. Would swear to you I could see them.
Right.
And I thought, well, let's get an aesthetic effect. I know where they are, so I'm just making this up. But the fact that I could move them across in front of each other and see the light when I moved it like this, the light from this one would be cut off. I moved it like this, the light from that one would be cut off.
Okay.
Just like it would happen right now.
Right.
But then,
But there was not a solid surface appearance, outlines,
Outlines.
like line drawings.
and it was only there while we were playing, pushing the energy
Right,
back
and
and
once
forth.
you said it was pretty strong.
Yeah.
When you said, okay, let's get a final cool down, and then it fairly rapidly faded away from there.
Okay.
To the point where I couldn't see it anymore.
So in about 30 seconds from after we stopped the experiments and went to chilling out, the light that we could see around our hands faded off.
All right. So let me show you what I got here because it was kind of what I was expecting, but not so clearly. I got to save this off first. Hold on. Hang on a second.
All right. Need a chair, Graham?
No, it's all right. We can do this.
So
Well, that's fairly regularly spaced.
So we got a really nice baseline that was good and low. And when we started, I'm going to go back and roll through where we started here because I want to get to the exact area here. So we started right around here, right around 430 to 475, and you notice we got big jumps right away when you were pulling. Right. And then you went back to neutral here. And numbers jumped right back down to nowhere until we got to, where did we start again? About 508, so right around here is where we started again, and you were pushing this time, and we got jumps again. It's pretty clear. Again, more jumps, and then you went back to neutral right around here. And neutral to, where am I here? Right around here. And then you started pushing, or no, pulling again, and again we started getting jumps into the hundreds, 200. These are pretty substantial numbers here, and again into 500s, and then right around here you went back into neutral. All the way up to about here, And then you start pushing again. Right in here, and that's where you said mark.
Okay.
Right at the 124 mark there.
Okay.
And at mark, that's when you said you felt you could see your hands at that point.
No.
No?
That's where I saw a flash of light.
Oh, you saw glints of
A
light.
glints of light in my glasses.
Okay. All right.
Very faint, bluish light.
Mm-hmm. All right.
As if light reflected off the glasses from a strong angle.
Okay. And again, this is still during the pushing phase here, up until here. Around here, goes back into neutral. To right there, where we start pulling again. And we start seeing jumps again. Up to here. And then went neutral again. And got some little jumps in neutral, but you know, we're still neutral here up until 900. And at this point you switch sides again. And so these numbers in here, so switching sides will happen right around here. Those things in there are, well, anything changed that we got in there doesn't mean anything because you were moving. Okay, so right around there, we started, well, here. We started pulling again right at 1035. And that's running to 1124, and I got nothing. No readings. This is when Ed's on the other side of the room pulling. I got no readings. Then it went back to neutral. Actually, the neutral went up to, so that was pulling and then neutral up to 1024 or 1124. And then we start pushing here. And so I got this teeny little jump there to 1178. And I got nothing when you were pushing. And then went back to neutral again. And when we were neutral, I got this little jump here. That doesn't really mean that much, right? Up to this point, 1267. Then pushing again, 1268. Nothing. So I continued to get nothing. Let's see, it's 1350. That was neutral, and then pulling again up to 1419. Again, nothing. Again, neutrals up to 1505. And I got nothing. And then I said, make sure you're not blocking that photo multiplier. Because we ran 4 different sessions, and different pushes and pulls, and got nothing. And so I was like, make sure we're not blocking something there. And so then you started pulling again after we did that. And almost immediately I started seeing numbers again that started to jump up again. That's why I was wondering if it was blocking anything. But if you weren't blocking anything.
I think so.
Don't think so.
I definitely was not standing in front of it.
But that's where, you see, I got this long time where I got nothing. And then I got these. Right after I actually moved some things around. In 555. So right around here. And then we went into neutral. Up to about here. Pushing. And we're starting to get some low numbers again. Up to about there. Neutral again up to 1700. And then pulling again, 1756. And again, I got some little jumps.
And then what's that next grouping around 20?
Okay, hold on a sec. So then we're going to 1785.
There's
And we're
pretty
neutral.
nothing there.
Then you switch back. All right, so you start moving back. And when you move back and you got closer to the machine again, we were at 1879. Let's see where we're at here. It took a little while for you guys to move. So starting right here, you're near the machine up to 1910. This is when you're near the machine and it's neutral. Then start pushing 1923 to 2004. So let's go up to 2004. pretty much got nothing with that push. And then it went neutral again up to 2060. And I got nothing. And then pulling 2061 to 2125. And I started getting little bumps again. And then I started getting some bigger ones. So that's where we started getting it again. Up to 2155. Or 2125. Yeah, to right around here. Then it went neutral again. 2160. Up to about there. 22, 24. And then I'm getting jumps again, and this is when you're pushing. So when you're neutral, I'm not getting anything.
Mm-hmm.
When you're pushing and pulling, I'm getting some readings, but the majority of what I'm getting is when you're near the machine. And it's not every time you're near the machine I'm getting something, but it's quite often.
Mm-hmm.
And this is while you're pulling. Once again, I start to get numbers again when you're pulling it.
Mm-hmm.
23, 41, and then this is again neutral. And then we went back down to the baseline. So it doesn't seem like we're getting light.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you're on the other side of the room, I'm not seeing it, or it's not registering, or the light is too close to you. It's more close to you, and we're not registering it when you're on the other side of the room. But we've had you on the other side of the room when you've been doing this, and we've gotten readings. So
Yeah.
I'm not so sure it's about the distance. But it does seem that it's something, when you're close to the machine, we get a much, much more significant effect
Mm-hmm.
than when you're far
And when
from the
I'm far
machine.
away, so
And
it's.
it doesn't matter if you're facing the machine or facing something else, doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm starting to question even more strongly whether you're actually producing light that is being registered here, or whether it's directly electronic manipulation.
Yeah, the light from my hands is bright enough. It should be blowing the thing up.
Oh, right.
Yeah, the amount of
And I got
light that we
nothing
were
from
able to
there.
see, visually see in there.
Mm-hmm.
And we both were seeing it. I told him, I said, hey, I can see my hands. And he said, well, I can see mine too.
Mm-hmm.
And that was.
When he said that, I'd already been playing with this for at least 5 or 6 minutes, testing whether it was just kinesthesia, because I know where my hands are, so I'm just kind of creating an image.
Right.
But that did not seem so, in the sense that I can block it, put it behind the chair, and not see it at all.
So my question is, if you're in there alone, will we get the same effect?
What, seeing your hands?
If I put you in there for 25 minutes, are you going to start seeing things?
I've been in there before and never saw anything like that.
Well, that's something I'd want to test.
Yeah.
To see if it's coming from something that's happening, or whether it's something that's
Psychological, sure.
Psychological, or part of, you start to see things once you've been in there for a period of time.
Oh, I don't doubt it. You put somebody in there for 24 hours, and they'll see a lot of things. But the times I've been in there before, John, I've never seen. It's black. It's
right.
dark, and I don't see anything.
You're not the only person who's said they've seen things in there, though. Been able to see their hands, or been able to see things in the room, and that's why I'm wondering what our perceptive level is, and where we would reach a threshold. So anyway, this is interesting to me, because it definitely showed a difference in where you stand in the room.
Yeah, sure does. So evidently, when I'm vibrating the energy, I'm accessing the quantum field right here close to my body. And maybe that's all that'll ever get picked up by the photon multiplier tube in there. Well, I'm not sure.
Your interpretation is stretching it a little too much
Yeah,
for me. We're still the way it could be that you're generating some sort of magnetic field that's causing some sort of effect on the machine. It could be some direct PK effect on the machine, which is something we don't even know about yet. So we have to explore it in a little more detail. But it does appear. Well, this is giving me the impression that you're affecting the machine more than producing light.
Yeah, so more
Because
than.
if you were producing light, it doesn't matter where you're standing in the room. We should be able to see.
Be able to
Yeah,
see
yeah,
the light.
that's right. So, and
we
he wasn't seeing nothing he could feel the effects, but he couldn't really see.
I can feel the push-pull effects. That's correct. Some stronger than others.
Yeah,
As I
because
said, there was one at least notable where I didn't feel anything,
yeah,
and there was one that felt strong enough to push me against the wall when I was on this side of the room.
Right. And I was getting big numbers whenever you were over there.
Um,
I did now when you were near the photomultiplier, and Ed, when you were on the other side of the room, I did get some readings, that energy readings on you.
yeah.
And this is kind of consistent with some of the other experiments, that it seems that you are producing light in some cases.
Some form of light, maybe.
But even when we closed the shutter
Uh-huh.
and we were getting readings with the machine, we were getting smaller readings, but we were still getting readings.
Yeah.
So it's almost like the light effect is compounded by an electrical effect on the machine. But it seems
That
the
seems
light
to
is
make
still
more
there.
sense. I mean, when I'm doing my energy sessions on people, they feel extreme amounts of energy run through their bodies. They feel it makes them get real hot and sweaty. The worse pain they got, the hotter and sweaty they seem to get, and things like that. So there's a stronger interaction of my energy in when I do stuff with people, and it's but it's in a sensation, electrical effect, which it makes sense, I guess.
But it is unusual to see any kind of readings of this level for any reason. It's unusual to have someone in here who's putting off levels like this.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we know I'm doing something. We just got to find out more ways to measure it. Okay.